Well, that was different. Man United won 2-1 in the pre-season game, and it went a little bit too, well, not my expectations. Regardless of all of that, smash the likes. Going to get into the game, see what you guys think, see what I think in a minute. And then, yeah, subscribe if you're brand new. Well, that pressing game was something different, don't you think? One thing, though, I must say, that pitch was... That was disgusting. I'm sorry. I have to have the smallest of moans. And it works for both sides, not just one side. Someone could have got injured on that pitch. Honestly, anytime you go to America, these pitches are diabolical. You are hosting proper top Premier League teams. They're coming over to the States so your people can go and have the time of their lives watching teams they probably can't watch on a regular. And that's what you give them. I don't understand this. Where is the, where's the help? Like, where's the recognition that, top sides are coming over? Where is it? What is it? That's nasty work. There's much better pitches over in Singapore that I've seen. There's nothing going. Look how dry that pitch was. I feel like a couple of the players were scared to do much because they might roll over their ankles, aka Tadibos. Even Cunha stopped a touch as well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I saw one instance where, who was it? Was it not Cobby? It might have been someone else, where they nearly rolled their ankle. They could have rolled their ankle on the spot if they didn't stop. Can't remember in the first half, but impressive display, I must admit, from the first 11, you can call it. The second team. Oh, I'm gonna get into that, but United are finally playing presses, like in terms of traps, getting up high, winning the ball back, man-to-man press, making sure everyone's in a shape, everyone goes and presses on their man. The fact that we haven't seen something like this in many years, which is quite surprising. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's something. It's a start at the very least. Now, there was a few players that really impressed me today, I must admit. The pivot, especially with Agate and Mainu, except for one instance, which was pretty much their goal. And you're going to find probably through Amorim's system, that might be a bit of a problem, because when you get a little bit more tired, which the word is, it's 28 degrees out there. Apparently it's very, very, like they call it sticky weather, and also very humid. You're gonna find some instances where not everyone's intact, like together. It was pretty much before they all came off, but maybe the back line of the three should have been a lot higher, so Bowen couldn't run the length that he did. But regardless of all that, first half, yeah, United dominated. West Ham couldn't do anything. There was not exactly build up from the back, but that got taken out because I don't feel like Amorim trusts India with his feet too much. He does look a little bit suspect, and he is suspect. Just go long. There's no point playing on this dry ass grass. You could see when West Ham tried to do it, even though they got some good players to build up from, there was no point. We got a goal from that. Forcing turnovers, exactly what we did. Agate and Cobby sniffing out danger, intercepting, Cunha intercepting, even when he lost the ball, winning it back. It was nice to see. The most impressive player today for me was none other than Patrick Dorgu. Now, when there's loads of people, and it's only one game, I hear it, before anyone wants to come at me with their arguments saying, oh, it's only a pre-season. Look, Dorgu's had small time to adapt to the Premier League. He's had small time to adapt within a functional Man United team. This one's not even the final product yet. We've only got Cunha in the door. So at least he has someone to link up with, and look at the difference. He absolutely killed Tadibo. He had him on toast. I mean, defensively, though, I must admit, Wan-Bissaka had the 1-2 part, kind of on wraps. Heaven did cover quite a lot. Heaven's very impressive again. He could have probably got a lot closer to the likes of Bowen for that goal, but throughout the whole of that game, I feel like it was a much more functioning side. I really like the back three, but Dorgu was causing issues all game long, and to see that he looks a lot more comfortable, a lot more fit, a lot more like just confident, you could say. Before he had Garnacho to link up with. Now there's instances where he's getting frustrated because he's not getting a pass when he's been on. Because there were some instances where I felt like United could have went long in terms of the spray, and Lenny Yoro done it a couple times, and it was nice. I must admit, it was like, oh, that's more like it, forcing a situation. So yeah, Dorgu's definitely getting his flowers for me. Just certain link ups. I feel like even he could have got more. I feel like that was a penalty. a second one. He clipped the back of his heel, but it's preseason. Who cares? The fact in the first half where we could have been pretty much, 3, 4, 5 goals up was insane. You know, Højlund hitting the post. Højlund not exactly putting off the best pass. Bruno Fernandes not laying off the correct pass for Ahmad. Inside, it goes to the left. Same thing with Højlund trying to go into Cunha with a pass. There was no point. You know, there was a lot of different instances, an offside goal even. I just thought, yeah, United, if you're going to play like that, you're going to definitely need an Mbumo to finish off your dinner a lot more. And this is exactly why we need a number 9. You know, it's just instances like that where Højlund misses, you need your number 9 to be burying a couple of those. But other than that, I thought Højlund's pressing was relentless, it was explosive. I'm not really going to get on him too much. His link-up wasn't too sad considering what he's usually like, but still nowhere near what we need. You know, in terms of just like certain IQs, he's just like not giving it when it's needed. Not that confident. He needs like 500 goals before he gets confident. But bar him, Dorgu, of course. You know, Ahmad didn't really get into the game. I felt like he was holding back a little bit. You know, there was a lot of times where we could play him in and we just kept going down the left instead of the right. I don't know if there was something wrong or he was just not feeling it, but it wasn't the typical kind of Ahmad. Bruno giving away the ball in certain areas. Again, it's just preseason. It's not much to really get behind, but he was definitely much better. And it felt a lot better, being more comfortable in those 10 areas rather than in the 8 areas. And I don't know if that's exactly Amorim's kind of new thinking, potentially, or it could just be the options to considering who's available. You know, not seeing Mbumo today was quite frustrating, but it is what it is. There's always next game. He needs to get up to scratch, get up to date, and we'll see where we go from there. I don't expect much from his first game either, since he's not had a couple games under his belt like the rest of these lot. But yeah, look, Cunha, fantastic. Look, there's a big reason why Manchester United signed him. He's just, look at the way he turns, glides, and just draws fouls, makes situations. Could have scored you know what, he could have scored even. So that's exactly where I just see him long term. I don't want to see him in a false 9. I don't want to see none of that. Put him in his best position. His best position right now is on that left-hand side in a 10 where he does his best work. Kobbie Mainoo and Agate, interesting. The amount of interceptions a lot of them were making that's what I say. That was different. Honestly, I really enjoyed the way, you know, United set the traps, kept getting the press, making them go long, winning it. De Ligt aerially was absolutely brilliant. Euro as well. Euro's passing is unreal, isn't it? But yeah, honestly, I thought Kobbie, this is why I feel like he's being more trusted for the 8. He looks a lot more trim. He definitely got tired within the second half. That's normal. But his occasional play, and I know he's coming up against like Souček's or Prowse's, but these lot like to manipulate the space whenever they can in a little bit more of an industrious kind of way. I thought he done really well. You know, suffocating them was exactly what it was. Getting up to their man-to-man press, killing a pass before the pass. They couldn't make 3 passes without Agate snuffing out the danger. Now, exactly why I want to see more of that from Agate. Simple, effective, pass forward when need be. And honestly, just being confident and strong in your own abilities. Use them to your strength. You know, how many times did you see him snuff out in front foot defending, usually back foot defending, but in terms of getting to that ball or that man before he makes that 1-2 is exactly why Agate was, I feel like in Man United's eyes, was signed. I don't know what impressed you, but you let me know in the comments as well. It's definitely all together. And then, yeah, I feel like there's not really a lot to go off of. It's just fitness, pressing, experimenting, and trapping like the areas. And I feel like Graham Potter's side it felt more like a David Moyes side. Yeah, there was a couple instances where you're like, oh, you know, like Souček could have scored that header. But what do we expect anything more from a West Ham side? I really don't. I don't. And I was actually surprised to see that Amorim wanted to give these lots small around like 70 minutes. 70 minutes before he took them off. And that's nice to see because you need to build a core 11 before anything. Because you saw what came on in the second half. In the second half of 70, I think it was 70 minutes. Look, I have no qualms about Luke Shaw, Fredericks and the rest of them. But when it comes to them attacking options, when you don't have Mbumo at the moment, and he will be there, when you don't have the likes of Xerxes as well that can fill in, there's just a lack of quality. You know, Toby Collier, Casemiro, you can be as fit as you want, Casemiro, but in terms of anything else, there's a lot that team's very unbalanced. There's no chemistry going on. And you know what? I'm actually disappointed in the second half. And when I say second half, I mean that second team spell. You know, Cheeto, I understand he's very young, but fuck me, like, get a move on, man. Honestly, put a shift in. You want to impress this team. You're walking around. Do you know what I mean? Like, simple efforts. Luke Shaw lost the ball where it was 2-1 up, not that much to go. I mean, it's not like it was an effective situation from West Ham, but jogging back, man. Where's the effort? If you see anything in Ruben Amorim training videos, you know, he's always asking people, when you lose it, everyone sprints back as a unit. I'm seeing Jack Fletcher, you know, again, not making the most out of his spell, but he hasn't had a lot of time with these lot. And he's further back than Luke Shaw was. So it's just simple little bits of that, you know. We couldn't really get going. I wouldn't even say West Ham were anything amazing. They got their goal, really brilliant finish, you know, and it was I think it was just tired legs. But when you see Kobe and Agate pressing further forward and there's a lack of gap, it's like, well, where's the communication? Defense to midfield, two midfielders pressing up. Not both of them were needed. It was an easy splitting pass, and then before you know it, gives it to Jared Bowen, and Jared Bowen goes and scores. Does a really good goal. Heaven didn't get close. Should have got a lot tighter, but definitely won, because 1 minute before that, you see Amorim shouting his lungs out at the likes of Aiden Evans. So, but he's got a lot to learn. But I was very much comfortable with him in that side. But bar that, yeah, after the 70th minute, I switched off. I switched off. But it's positive signs. Positive signs is exactly the title to pretty much use for this video. And hopefully for next game, I think we got Bournemouth, who are a really good pressing side, a much better footballing side than West Ham. We might get to see a little something, and something more positive. It's not about the scoreline, it's about what you try to do. And if you can execute it well, then fair play. But bar that, smash the likes, subscribe if you're brand new. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll go from there in a bit.